We can. When you've been. Well,
Got you up now.
Hello?
there.
We are here with Steve Solomon, who's our Public Information Officer for FEMA. And I want to thank you for contacting us yesterday so we can get the information out to the people as far as, that's it, as far as what's going on in the community regarding the assistance that FEMA can bring us. So thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome, Terry. You know, FEMA likes to use every opportunity available to get the message out to our key audiences.
Well, it's nice for a government official to reach out to the public on their own accord and try to get everything, all the information out to the county or to the community. So I very much appreciate that because in prior experiences here, both locally and otherwise, sometimes government is kind of hard to get hold of and get through the red tape and communications.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm here to answer any questions that I can. But if I could start, I'd like everybody to know that I'm actually in the park next to the Middletown Senior Center, and that's over on Washington Street in Middletown. And we've opened a Lake County Disaster Recovery Center here a little more than an hour ago, and we'll be open today until 6, but as of tomorrow, our regular hours will be 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. here. And our mission is to help survivors who have been impacted by the Valley Fire.
Excellent. Well, we're so happy you're here because, as you know, we have many, many tragedies around us right now.
Are you going to be open Monday through Sunday or?
The Disaster Recovery Center, we call them DRCs, will be open daily.
Excellent.
Okay, great. Until the need is filled, of course.
Right.
Okay. So let me go ahead and start off with some of the questions that we have for you. And these are some of these questions are things that people have brought to us and questions that they've had that we've picked up from around the community. First of all, let's have an overview. What can FEMA do for those who have lost their homes?
Well, the way the process works is when your local, county, and state officials are overwhelmed by a disaster, the governor of the state asks for federal assistance, which in this case, the governor of California did. And on September 22nd, President Obama signed the declaration so that Lake County is eligible for what we call individual assistance. Individual assistance includes a wide array of services available to eligible survivors, and those can include anything from temporary housing grants to grants for repairs to homes, as well as replacement of personal property like furniture, kitchen utensils, clothing, linen. It can include repair or replacement of vehicles, medical and dental expenses, God forbid, funeral and burial expenses,
Wow.
and moving and storage expenses. And again, the key is eligible survivors.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if you're eligible until you register.
What are criteria for eligibility?
Yeah, go ahead.
what's the criteria for eligibility?
Well, we need some information in order to determine that, and it starts with a Social Security number, a address of the damaged home or apartment, and proof that the applicant lived there at the time of the disaster. Then information about insurance coverage, because we don't duplicate insurance coverage that the survivor may have in place.
Okay.
Would you?
Then
I'm
then
sorry.
we need just a few more. Then we need a current contact telephone number, an address where the survivor can get mail, and if you want direct deposit, we need your bank account and routing numbers.
Okay. Would you also cover a deductible from the insurance company?
You know, when we get into really specific questions, it's out of my lane, and you know we have our experts who do that. I would just tell listeners, you need to register, and we've got 4 ways to do that. Can I talk about those?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure, thank you. First, really the simplest way is to call. It's an 800 number, 800-621-3362, and 3362 spells out FEMA, so it's 800-621-FEMA. You can also go online, www.disasterassistance, that's one word, .gov, and we have a mobile device application. It's m.as.in.mary.fema.gov. Or you can go in person. So we've got FEMA registration teams at the, let me make sure I get this, the Twin Pine Casino here in Middletown, and also the Hidden Valley RV Park and Campground. And then, of course, here at our Disaster Recovery Center, we've got teams, and I'm looking now, I see 1, 2, 3, it looks like 4 people are being registered right now.
Okay, so you don't have anyone up in Cobb?
No.
Okay.
And how long? Excuse me. How long is the application? Is it a 1 page, or is there?
Well, you basically need to answer those questions that I went through a minute ago.
Okay.
Again, you know, your name, your address, social
Okay.
security number, phone number, etc.
And once
We try to keep it as simple as possible.
right.
That's good.
Once an application request is submitted to FEMA, what is the time period involved in going through the whole process?
It depends on the individual survivor's situation. Some are more complicated than others, but basically, after if there's property that's involved, a FEMA inspector needs to get out there, and that's done by appointment. And then the inspection report is submitted. The homeowner has an opportunity to see what that is and comment about it. And then FEMA will inform the homeowner if we've got all the information that's needed, or perhaps there's something that was left off the application or needs clarification, and then that's worked out, and the grant can be given to the eligible survivor.
So,
So to answer your question, it's a long answer.
yeah.
Basically, it really does depend on the individual, but our goal is to do it as quickly as possible.
So it's really no different than putting an insurance claim in. Some are easier than others.
That's probably a good analogy.
Okay.
Okay. So let me just go over everything real quickly, make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm actually
sure. Yeah,
posting
take your
this
time.
to Facebook as we speak. So the criteria is a person's name, proof of address, insurance coverage. You will not duplicate coverage if there is insurance. Current
Right.
phone number, address for mail, and bank account routing numbers for direct deposit if desired.
And the social security number.
Okay, I missed that one. I knew I was missing something. Okay. Okay.
So you have all that information. If you can get that together, then make the call or go online or use the app or come over in person to one of our locations and sit down with someone. We're very patient.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we need that right now. Okay. Go ahead, Pete. With the next one. Let me finish
Some of the questions you
updating
already
here.
answered, so I'm going to ask you another one. Lake County is, we have a lot of people who do not have internet. Most of them just have, quote, cell phones. Do you have any written documentation that can be provided, excuse me, to them in advance before they go down to one of your centers to apply?
Well, they can use the phone to hook up on that app, the M as in Mary.FEMA.gov, and get it that way through their cell phone. That would be my suggestion.
The website that you gave us, disaster assistance, is that
Right.
.gov?
.gov, G-O-V.
Got it. Okie dokie. Okay, so now all that's up on the website. Those people that don't have insurance, you're pretty much there to help them, those people that are without any coverage at all? Is that what I'm
So,
interpreting?
I mean, euphemistically, we'd say we're here to help the eligible survivors get up on their feet again. All these grants are ultimately coming from U.S. taxpayers, so it's part of the whole overall budget from Congress.
Well, thank goodness they have that.
Do you have any?
It's to get people up, on their feet
On their
again.
feet.
And
Sure.
and again, everybody's welcome to visit us over here at this disaster recovery center. We'll take the time. We'll answer the questions. We'll provide any assistance that's needed. We like to say that it's one-stop shopping for federal services.
Oh, that's great.
Is there any maximum limits that FEMA will provide to an individual?
There is a maximum grant amount set every year for disaster relief. At this point, it's over $30,000. The amount is set based on the fiscal year, which will be hitting soon, so that could change. But that's where we are with that at present.
Okay. Because I think a lot of the public needs to know what that limitation
Yeah,
is.
and you're saying maximum relief is over $30,000. Now that tells me that if there was someone who lost their home and didn't have insurance, this is not going to replace their home.
Well, again, we like to say that it's to help people get up off their feet. As far as putting people back completely to where they were, better, that remains to be seen.
Okay.
Is there any other government aid besides going through FEMA that could help these homeowners with no insurance?
Absolutely. One of the other agencies that has representatives here at the Lake County Disaster Recovery Center is the U.S. Small Business Administration. And these are the folks that have an application process like us, and they make loans to homeowners as well as businesses.
Oh, great.
I didn't realize Small Business Association would do that for individuals, not just businesses.
They do, and it's at a better interest rate, and I encourage everyone to check that out too if they come over here.
What about FHA or VA? Do they participate in any way?
I'm not seeing that on my list here, so I would have to say I'm not aware of that at present.
Okay, because they do have a lot of different programs for rehabbing and things of that nature, but the criteria there might be different than what we're going through right here in Lake County.
Okay.
So, you had a question?
Yes. The people we've had a lot of fires here in Lake County. Let's face it, we've lost over 200 square miles of land due to various fires since August. And we had the Rocky Jerusalem and the Great Fires. All three of those fires, there were homes that were destroyed. Would any of those people have any eligibility for assistance based on this?
The declaration is for Lake County, and it's for the Valley Fire that started on September 12th and continuing.
Okay.
So that's the specific language in terms of looking at who's eligible.
Okay, I'd heard that FEMA only comes out when there's a certain number of houses that have been destroyed. The number I think I heard was 1,000. Is that correct, or will they just come out whenever there's a request for them to come out?
You know, FEMA comes out when the governor of the state asks for federal assistance and the president signs a declaration to provide it.
So if the governor had asked for any assistance for those people on those fires, then there's a possibility they would have been helped.
I can't speak to the governor's.
Oh yeah, I understand.
No,
No, I'm just trying to get an idea of whether it was based on a house count or just on the request itself.
Well, again, FEMA only goes in at the invitation of the state,
Gotcha. Okay.
and we're here for Lake County and for the Valley Fire.
Okay. In regards to the Valley Fire, can and will FEMA provide any form of temporary housing for those who are totally help me with the word.
Have been displaced.
Thank
Their
you.
homes have been
Displaced,
lost,
right.
The there are grants for temporary housing, but if you're specifically speaking about mobile housing, there are no plans for that at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm asking this question for obviously obvious reasons, that when Katrina hit, FEMA brought in a lot of trailers to house those people who suffered through that hurricane.
Yeah, so they're not going to try to do that with these people here?
What I can say is that at this time, there are no mobile homes.
Because we have very
Being,
limited places for
being used.
people to stay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have very limited housing for people here, and the winter's coming, and those people in campgrounds are not going to be able to stay in those campgrounds because of the winter temperatures. And even though we do have mild winters here, it's still going to be really too cold for people to camp out until next year when their houses might get rebuilt. I know those that have insurance probably will have no problem getting rentals until then, but again, we have a limited amount of rentals, motel rooms, campgrounds, campsites, RVs, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, we're looking at 1,200 homes destroyed, approximately, you know, on the average, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people that have been displaced. How are we going to manage housing them during the winter? That's the thing I'm worried about.
You know, it's interesting because of that situation, FEMA staff is not permitted to lodge within 30 miles of the county. So we're actually all commuting, if you will, from adjacent counties into Lake County to do our jobs.
Jeez.
To try and free up as many hotel rooms and whatnot as possible. But to answer your specific question, I would strongly urge folks who are in the kind of situation that you're describing to register with FEMA and make their condition clear that they're in that position, what you've described, so that we can see if they're eligible for a temporary housing grant.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Okay, that'd be great, because I think there's going to be quite a few people in need on that level based on what I know of our county and what the availability of space is.
Do you coordinate, meaning FEMA, with any government funding or that might be available under the same circumstances?
I'm not sure I follow. Other agencies funding?
Well, the state of California, if I remember correctly, has some funds available to help for those who've gone through the Valley Fire. Do you coordinate or communicate with the state government agency responsible for that to make sure that there's one, you're not funding the same thing, but number two, just ensure that the coordination is there for the person that may require the help?
Every disaster has a federal coordinating officer and a state coordinating officer. The federal is appointed by the president. The state is a coordinating officer is appointed by the governor. They typically work side by side to keep track of just those kinds of things.
Okay. We heard, and I can't remember where I heard it from, that I believe FEMA advanced the county $3.5 million from the Rocky Fire.
I don't have any knowledge about
It
that.
wouldn't have been
Or
from
was it
FEMA.
from the state?
It
I
was
take
probably
that back.
from
It was from the
state,
state. I apologize on that one.
That wasn't FEMA.
Right.
Because again, FEMA was not called on that
Right.
fire, so
No,
they
you're
would
absolutely
not
correct.
be doing it. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
What is our time frame once someone fills out an application? How long does it take them to get through the process?
we kind of.
Well, I think Peter asked that about 20 minutes ago.
I'm
into the
sorry, I guess I
interview,
didn't
and
write it down. I must have been.
She's busy typing away, getting all the information. I'm just
yeah,
sitting here.
I was trying to say that it depends on the individual circumstances, and Peter said, "Oh, like an insurance claim," and I said that would be a good analogy.
Yeah,
So
because we're
stick
going.
with that answer.
Yeah, we're going through insurance claim ourselves right now, so that's why I said that. How it's funny. That we get the phone call or the message from you on, I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. Obviously, you're reaching out to all the media here in Lake County and beyond. What can we do as media, knowing that we're basically small county based, we're not the big boys out of San Francisco or Sacramento? How can we help FEMA do their job or to communicate with the public?
That's a great question, and I really appreciate it. I would suggest two things. That you keep your ear to the ground and let me know when you're hearing things that don't sound quite right, so that we can talk about it, and if need be, I can investigate and find out what's the truth.
Yes, we've already made it known that we are here to do rumor control, and also we've put a call out to anybody who's being denied any kind of service or help, that we would help them advocate through the process as well at no charge, so we can help people get through it.
And the other thing I would say is just to remind people to register, please, if they haven't, with FEMA. The 1-800 number, the website, the app, or come in person.
Okay. Will you be releasing any quote-unquote press releases to give us an update on the information or anything else that you can provide the public?
I can promise to do that with you whenever I get a news release.
Great,
Okay.
that'd be awesome. We just like to keep people informed
Right.
now. Here's a question for the future. Seeing the situation that we have here in Lake County, we're a very rural county. We have very limited broadcasting resources. Many people don't have internet. Many people don't have telephones. Many people don't have TV. And a lot of people have radio. There is one radio station here that did a really good job on the emergency management part of it, but their broadcast area is limited. There's another new radio station that's supposed to start up in Cobb, but they haven't had much luck getting funding together to get that up and running. And then there's our station, which is a quasi-TV station because we're only online, but we would like to be a broadcast station. Is there emergency management funding that would be available to expand some of the media that we have here so we could provide a much more integrated emergency response in these type of situations?
That's an excellent question, and it's about a subject that I have very little knowledge, so I'll have to do some research and get back to you.
That would be wonderful because, again, we're a very poor county. The county does not provide any money to any of the media for any kind of emergency management services, and we'd all like to be able to provide a much better coverage of these situations. With this current fire, the Valley Fire, CAL FIRE started issuing their orders for evacuations at about 1:30 in the afternoon, but the sheriff's office orders didn't go out till 7:45 in the evening. And I personally feel that we would have had a lot less of destruction, especially personal and animal lives, if we would have been able to get the word out to people much sooner and in a much more efficient manner than what we've got operating right now.
I'll see what I can find out.
That would be awesome.
Just give you an example, on the Rocky Fire, which I realize has nothing to do with FEMA and yourself right now, My wife and I, and this is not trying to toot our own horn by any means, we're broadcasting live probably 15, 16 hours a day to provide the public as much information as we could. Yet we're limited because we're internet based only, plus we can do it through our internet online magazine. So be it us or be it anyone else in the county, it would be great if we could have some other forms or better lines of communicating to the public.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a black hole here as far as communications, and we really do need to try to do something to improve that for sure. Okay, anything else we need to go over here?
Let me get my glasses on. I'm old.
Is there anything else you'd like people to know while he's looking up his list?
I'd like to thank you for your hospitality, for giving me the time to talk about why FEMA is here and what we're doing and how we'd like to help. It's greatly appreciated, and I look forward to talking with you again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're always welcome. We do a live talk show every Wednesday from 9 to noon. So if you want to be like a regular, feature on that program while you're here, you're more than welcome to give us a call in and just let us know the status of what's going on, and we can keep in touch, keep the people informed that way.
Or come in live with us.
And we'd love to have you in the studio.
Sounds great. I'll try to do that.
Okay, and I'm going to make an assumption, which I already know the answer, is that you don't mind if we repeat this section of our interview online on a continual basis. Plus, I assume we can take this information and put it into an article on our magazine.
Super.
Okay.
That would be outstanding.
Okay, great. Well, we're happy to do that. And whatever you need, you just give us a call. We have quite a good following, both on the air and on Facebook, and we can help you get whatever you need distributed. And we're more than happy to do that. So.
Thanks so much, Terry.
Sure, Stephen.
Thank you, Peter.
Martin, welcome. We're here to help you and get the communications out to the public. So I appreciate your time and the information.
Great. Thanks so
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Take
Bye
care.
now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
A lot of people want to turn us off,
I
but that's
know.
okay.
No, you're not going to get away with it like that.
No, not that. It's too easy. So that was a very good information
Yes.
that he provided.
Yes, and it's such a simple process. There's no reason why anyone cannot do this. And of course, Peter and I have volunteered to walk people through the process. If they're confused or they don't have internet, you can come to our office. We'll be happy to get you through the process the fastest way possible to help you be able to get through this and get taken care of as soon as possible.
And I think what we can also do is, instead of having to, even though we'll replay this interview program, we can also put up a slideshow. So when we're not running the program,
Yes,
we
with all
you,
the points
phone
that we
number,
just got,
right, the
yeah.
points, the phone numbers, the
a good
website. So
idea.
you can go online anytime to lcm-tv.com and get the information you
Right,
require.
exactly.
Yeah, that was a commercial, folks. So,
oh boy, yeah. There's a lot of people out there with issues, and hopefully FEMA will help. Like he said, they will give you over $30,000 depending on what your needs are, and then also you have the state that you can go to. You have other agencies you can go to. So there is a lot of help out
yeah,
there.
I found it very interesting that the SBA, or the Small Business Administration, actually has low-interest loans available to homeowners.
We might want to hit them up for a business loan.
So I found that interesting. And you also, and again, I'm just going through experience, you may also want to look at the VA, the HUD housing part of government. They do the FHA and VA loans, and they have very weird and unusual type of loans. And I know one specifically is you bought a home that had to be rehabbed completely. They give you all the funding for that. So they may have some loopholes or some criteria